Hello and welcome to part 6, the final part of my knitting series for beginners. So far we have learned how to cast on, we have learned how to do basic knit stitch, we have learned how to do a stockinette stitch, which requires both the knit and the purl stitch going back and forth between rows. And then we have also learned how to do the rib stitch, which is going back and forth between knit and purl stitches within the row. So knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. Now, the last thing that we are going to learn is how to do a basic cast off. As with a cast on, there's actually several different ways that you can do it, but I am going to show you the most basic way to finish off your project. Just a straight basic cast off. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to knit 2 to begin with. 1 and 2. From this point on in the cast off, you are never going to have more than 2 stitches on your right needle. Once you have these 2, you're going to take your left needle, you're going to put it with inside under the first stitch that you did, bring it over and drop. Then you can pull it a little bit, don't pull it too tight, should have a little bit of a space there, a little bit of a space. And then you're going to knit again. Now you have 2. You do the same thing. You take the first one, bring it over and drop. Tighten it up a little bit, make sure there's a space. Knit again. You have your 2. Use your left needle to take the first stitch over and drop it. Do that a couple times more. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. You can see that we are getting a string of what looks like pearls on the outer edge. Go and knit another one. Take the first stitch and drop it over. Now we are coming to, whoops, I almost did 3 there. I should never have more than 2 on my left or my right needle. When you're doing a basic cast off. Now, we're on the last one. Now you'll see that both of the last stitches are here. I still have the right or the left needle in my hand. I'm going to do the same thing. Drop it over. Oops. There we go. Drop it over. Now I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and just like the tail should be a fair length, I am going to have about the same length as my tail before at the beginning. Now I am going to take that last loop, pull it out a little bit, and I'm going to bring that through, that down, and I'm going to tighten it up. And there you go. You have completed your first swatch with both knitting, stockinette, and a rib stitch. Most basic projects you can do with these 3 types, including the cast off and the cast on. Now that you've finished this, my suggestion is to practice doing a basic knit stitch to find the most comfortable position for you, how you want your hands to sit, because it takes a long time to get the hang of it and to get your hands to move properly with the yarn and with the needles. My suggestion is you knit a long scarf. This was 15 stitches across. If you take it to about 30, you can have a good size or a good width for a scarf. And that's probably one of the best first projects for any beginner to do, because it's so long, it takes a while, you come out with a good looking product, and it gives you enough time to get comfortable using the needles and using the yarn. Once you've mastered the knit stitch, move on to a project with purling. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this series. Goodbye.